It's the year 1241. The Mongol army, the Golden Horde, stands poised at the edge of Europe, a seemingly unstoppable force that has already carved a path of conquest across Asia and into Russia. In our timeline, history records a miracle. An unusually early and harsh winter descended upon the Hungarian plains. Rivers froze over, but not thick enough to support the Mongol cavalry, turning the landscape into a treacherous, marshy trap. The grasslands, vital for their horses, withered under the frost. This sudden, brutal shift in weather forced Batu Khan, grandson of Genghis Khan, to halt his advance and withdraw. The Little Ice Age, as some historians call it, saved Europe. But what if it didn't? Imagine a world where that winter never came. The autumn of 1241 remains mild. The rivers flow freely, the grass stays green, and the ground remains firm. For the Mongol horsemen, it's a perfect storm. Not of ice, but of opportunity. The wind that was supposed to turn cold doesn't. And with that single climatic anomaly, the entire course of human history is rewritten. With no environmental obstacles, Batu Khan's cavalry doesn't just raid, it conquers. The unstoppable tide of horsemen thunders across the Hungarian plains. The divided kingdoms of Europe, accustomed to fighting each other with heavy knights and static sieges, are completely unprepared for the Mongols' lightning-fast tactics, their feigned retreats, and their mastery of composite bows. Poland, having already suffered one devastating raid, now falls completely. Its cities are not just sacked, they are absorbed into a new order. The Holy Roman Empire, a patchwork of feuding principalities, tries to mount a defense, but it's too little, too late. Vienna, the gateway to Central Europe, is besieged and falls within weeks. The shockwave reverberates across the continent. Panic grips the royal courts. France, under King Louis IX, attempts to rally a crusade, not against the Saracens, but against the new threat from the east. But the French knights, clad in heavy armor, are systematically decimated on the open fields. Paris, the jewel of medieval Europe, surrenders to avoid annihilation. Within a single decade, the map of the world is redrawn. The Mongol Empire doesn't just stretch to the borders of Europe, it engulfs it. From the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic coast, a single power reigns supreme. Europe speaks Mongolian, not as a foreign tongue, but as the language of administration, trade, and power. In the great cathedrals of Rome and Paris, the Christian cross hangs uneasily beside the nine-tailed banner of the Great Khan. In a moment of ultimate submission, the Pope himself kneels before the envoy of the Great Khan, not as a spiritual equal, but as a vassal, offering peace and fealty in exchange for the survival of his faith. Centuries roll by, but the world they shape is fundamentally different. The Renaissance, as we know it, never happens. The rediscovery of Greek and Roman knowledge in Italy is overshadowed by a different intellectual tradition. The great centers of learning are not Florence and Venice, but Samarkand and the new Mongol capital built on the ruins of Vienna. Science and mathematics flourish, but they grow from the seeds planted by Persian and Chinese scholars under Mongol patronage. The astronomical observatories of the East, not the universities of the West, are the ones charting the stars and unlocking the secrets of the cosmos. Innovation continues, but it follows a different path. The Silk Road never declines. Instead, it becomes the artery of a unified Eurasian super-empire. Ideas and technologies flow freely across the continent. When the steam engine is finally invented, it's not powered by British coal to fuel factories, but designed to pull vast caravans across modernized Silk Roads, connecting the vast territories of the Khanate. The Industrial Revolution happens, but it's an Eastern one. Fast forward to our present day, 2025. The world is unrecognizable. Eurasia is a single, cohesive empire, ruled by the descendants of the great Khans. Cities like London, Berlin, and Madrid are transformed. Their architecture, a stunning hybrid of European foundations and Eastern aesthetics. Golden domes gleam next to Gothic spires, and massive statues of horsemen stand proudly in city squares. Society is a blend of steppe traditions and conquered cultures. The rigid feudalism of Europe gave way to the meritocratic, though ruthless, efficiency of the Mongol system. In this world, every schoolchild learns a simple, powerful lesson about their history. They are taught that the fate of their entire civilization hinged on a single season. They learn the story of the winter that wasn't, The fortunate autumn that allowed their ancestors to unite the world, and they all memorized the phrase that defines their existence. The wind that never turned cold changed the world forever. It's a chilling reminder that sometimes history isn't about the rise and fall of empires. Sometimes it simply gallops past them, unstoppable and forever. Thank you so much for watching this journey into an alternate past. If you enjoyed this exploration, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing for more dives into the what ifs of history. See you next time.